This is your brother Kevin from It's Time to Be Unshakable in Christ, and time is running out. We are out of time. Jesus is coming soon. Judgment Day is coming soon, and the 7-year tribulation is coming soon. So, in this video, I wanted to show this slide. Enigma. This was the Nazi regime's ciphering machine that they used for hidden messages. And Alan Turing, he created a code-breaking computer that cracked the Enigma's code. Just like Alan Turing created this code-breaking computer, I am one person. I'm trying to crack the code and all of the numbers that he has given me, and I'm trying to crack the enemy's code, and I'm trying to crack the rapture code. When is the rapture? And that's what we do on this channel. I look for the Lord, and I'm trying to crack the code. So in this video, I'll be covering the Aleph and Tav solar eclipse timelines, the blood moons and solar eclipse timelines, the 9/11 timeline correlations, wake me up when September ends, Christ timelines, and my testimonies deciphering the numbers that the Lord has given me. So these are the high watch dates that I'm looking at: 10/29, 10/30, 10/31, and November 1st. And we are very close to all these dates. They are quickly approaching. So this is the final countdown to All Saints Day, which is November 1st. And I've gone over this before. All the enemy decodes that I go through, they're all based on Christ's timeline, Israel's timeline, the solar and lunar eclipse timelines, and the calendar year-end timelines. And they all point to the rapture and sudden destruction, which is Judgment Day as well. So the Aleph and Tav solar eclipse paths on 8/21/2017 and 10/14/2023, and the April 8th eclipse in 2024. I'm going to go over these, what the timelines are, and share some information with you. So starting with 8/21/2017, going to 10/29/2025, it's exactly 2,992 days. And G2992 equals the people, which is absolutely crazy. If we the people, that's written on the Constitution of the United States, did they know before they wrote the Constitution when the rapture was? That would be very interesting. I'm not sure, but I know that they've known for hundreds of years, which is crazy. And then if you think about it, the next slide that I'm getting to is a Boeing 747 jet. Well, from 10/14/2023 to 10/29/2025 is exactly 747 days. And that equals a Boeing 747 jet for the bride of Christ to fly away. Hallelujah. And the April 8th eclipse to 10/29/2025 is exactly 81 weeks and 3 days. That is Psalms 81:3. Blow the trumpet at the time of the new moon on our solemn feast day. Well, we are no longer in the new moon, obviously, and it's not going to be a feast day. So we're all just a little confused, and we're all still looking for the Lord. And I'm not sure either. I'm just speculating on the numbers that the Lord has given me. And that's why I got on here, because there's a ton of numbers that the Lord has given me that all line up within these days. So I can't stay silent. And I'm going to be bold in sharing this information, because I'm believing that the Lord is going to return. And so that's why I get on here. So the blood moons and solar eclipses, 11/8/2022, 3/14/2025, 3/29/2025, and 9/7/2025. Starting with the blood moon on November 8th of 2022, going to 10/30/2025 is exactly 1,088 days. And 188 equals the Holy Son of God, Jesus. And 3/14/2025, the blood moon, to 10/30/2025 is exactly 7 months and 17 days. That's 717. And H717 is to gather and to pluck. Hallelujah. But then G717 is Armageddon. So they're the exact opposites, as I've been over this before. And then also the decode for the July 17th calendar emoji. July 17th is the 7th month on the 17th day, which equals 717. If you go into your cell phones and you type in the word date or the word calendar in a text message, the calendar emoji that pops up is July 17th. This is a coded message from the enemy to themselves stating something, 717 for something. So I'm just trying to crack the code and I'm trying to figure it out. So on 3/29/2025, the solar eclipse to 10/30 of 2025 is exactly 216 days, 30 weeks and 6 days. And 216 equals 6 times 6 times 6. And 36 equals 6 times 6. The mark of the beast, the number of the beast, is 666. And this is an image of the beast that was outside the United Nations that they built several years ago, and they took it down. And you think that these people are clueless and they have no idea? These people know exactly what they're doing, and all the governments all over the world are all in line. They are part of Satan's kingdom. Why do you think it's the year of the snake in China? Because the snake, the serpent, is Satan, and this is his year. Blood moons and solar eclipses going to 9/7/2025. That blood moon to 10/29 is exactly 53 days, 1 month and 23 days. There's the 1, 2, 3 I was looking at. This is 7 weeks and 4 days, which equals 74, and 74 equals Jesus in simple gematria. And if you go 3 more days, you're going to go to November 1st, and you add 3 days, you get 1 month and 26 days. That's what I was looking at, was 10/26. And it's 7 weeks and 7 days, which equals 77, and 77 equals Christ in simple gematria. So you have 74 and 77, 10/29 and November 1st. The Feast of Tabernacles, the last great day, the 8th day. When we look at the 8th day, if we add 17 days to this, we get to 10/31/2025. So 17 days after the 8th day, that's 178. 178 equals the solar eclipse and blood moon pattern that I've gone over. The pattern of the blood moons and solar eclipses, the majority of them equaled 178 days in between them. There's one with 177, 171, 179, a lot of them with 178. Could this also be pointing to the 17th day of the 8th month and the 2nd month, going back to Noah in the book of Genesis? Well, we're not there yet. That'll be next week. If we get past this week, we're going to look at that, obviously. But this is very interesting. The Feast of Trumpets, Rosh Hashanah 2025. So from 9/23 to the following days, it's 38 days to 10/30. So that equals my testimonies. 2983 Murray, and I'll get into that later. And then 3/9, and then 39 days to 10/31, which is the 3i Atlas comet, because I equals 9. So it's 39 Atlas. 3i Atlas is 39. And then 40 days to 1101. And 40 days is very biblical. 40 days and 40 nights, going back to Noah as well in the book of Genesis. So 40 days gets us to November 1st, and that's 1040, the 10th of Heshvan in 40 days. 1004, 104, out of time, back to the future. That's interesting. Then we get into 9/11, and I have a bunch of timeline correlations with 9/11. The Revelation 12 sign, 3 through 5, the Star of Jacob, birthed out of Virgo. That was on 10/11 of 2024 to 10/29. It's exactly 1 year and 19 days. And 119 equals 911 backwards. And 12 months and 19 days equals the closest approach for the 3i Atlas made-up comet that they're lying to everybody about. because they're going to deceive everyone with the great alien deception. That's why they're pushing this agenda, because they already have all this in place. The whole alien agenda. Werner von Braun, okay, this was a German scientist that came over with Project Paperclip to America. Basically, on his deathbed, he said, the final card, the last card, will be the fake alien invasion. And that's when the rapture takes place. They've already got it all set up. September 11th, 2001. So the timeline here from 9/11 to 10/29 is 24 years, 1 month, and 19 days. That's 119. 119 backwards equals 911. And then President Trump, the inauguration day for all presidents is on 120, January 20th. So January 20th to 10/30 is 284 days, but it's also 9 months and 11 days. That's exactly 911. And it's 40 weeks and 4 days. And that's G44 a fishhook to 10/30. That's amazing. And then Novem equals 9 in Latin for November. So 1101 equals 901 plus Heshvan 10th. So you have 9-1 plus 10 equals 9/11 as well. There's 4 correlations from the 29th to November 1st with 9/11. Wake Me Up When September Ends. This is from Green Day. This was a song that they created. Why do you think they created this song? Because it's October. Or is it? Because they're going to base this off of what I believe is the calendar timeline. So if we go to 10/30, this is the last day of September because it's 9 months and 30 days into 2025. So that's the decode. They're looking from January 1st to 10/30 is 9 months and 30 days, still lining up with a September timeline based on the day count from the start of the year. So this would be the last day on that timeline. Okay, 10/30 would be it. This would be the final day. And this is 303 days into 2025, which equals 33. And then 10/31, Halloween, is 10 months into 2025 and 304 days into 2025. And I always see the number 134 all the time. And it's even on my truck license plate, which is crazy. So 1101 equals 10 months and 1 day into 2025. This is 305 days, and it lines up perfectly with 101 twice. So 101 equals 10 months and 1 day. 101 equals Heshvan 10th and November 1st. And where else have I seen 101? And where else is it broadcast from the enemy in a lot of their shows? So it's in iPet Goat 2 in the classroom. They have a 101 teleprompter right there that says 101. And this is my testimony where my clock resets to 101. I took a photo of it. It kept doing it. I was like, what is happening? So my clock resets to 101. And then La Brea, this TV show, if you look on the ground to the far right, the highway sign is 101. And what's going to happen? Okay, the spirit realm's going to open up. You're going to be able to see things that you don't ever want to see. Okay, the veil is going to be gone, and you're going to be able to see demons and monsters. Okay, so that's why I believe this is referring to that, but I just don't know if I'm lining up everything properly, but I know that there's a decode there with 101. So Super Bowl 59 on 2-9. So that's 2959. Okay, and the score was 40-22. And I've gone over this several times, but this lines up perfectly. Okay, if we go from the Revelation 12 sign in 2017 to 1029, it's 2,959 days exactly. And it's 422 weeks and 5 days exactly. And 5 is the number of grace. Christ timelines, 31 AD, crucifixion, and I'm just going to go over some things that popped out to me. So 728, 484, okay, this is going to 1029. So 4-8 is the April 8th eclipse, and 8-4 is my testimony. And then if you go to 32 AD, what popped out to me is 6 months and 16 days, and G616 is to give birth, and H616 equals a prisoner. And if you go 3 more days, okay, because this cycles every 3 days, the crucifixion and resurrection. So 3 more days, it'll still be there on the resurrection timeline because it's 6 months and 13 days right now to 1029. And 3 more days to November 1st, it's still there, but on the resurrection timeline. And so the same thing with this, 728 and 129. So 129 was the helicopter and plane crash. I'm going to show you that slide that I've been over several times. And then 129 was the doomsday clock, 89 seconds to midnight. And if you cycle this 3 more days, it will also land on the resurrection timeline, and that'll get you to November 1st. And this is that plane crash that I'm talking about. And it's runway 33, 303 days into the year. And the plane itself was 534. And I've gone over 534 so many times. And look at the timestamps here, 8:40 p.m., 8:48. It matches Christ's timeline. So a lot of these numbers all line up with what's on the timelines, which is crazy. So my testimonies matching up the numbers. My Murray testimony is amazing. So 2983 on 3/26/2024, October 29th, Heshvan 8th, and October 30th. Literally, you have the 29th, the 8th, and the 30th. That equals 2983. That's amazing. And 3/26, the date, equals 32 weeks and 6 days. The blood moon timeline on 3/14 to 10/29 is exactly 32 weeks and 6 days. And then when I was shoved by the Lord in my semi-truck on 7/28/2024 at 5:34 a.m., I've gone over this in detail several times, but I'm just going to go over the numbers. G728 obviously matches up with Christ's timeline, but it's earnest money and it's a down payment. G728 is earnest money and a down payment, and that is for us, the bride of Christ. The earnest money and down payment for us to be raptured, to go up with him into heaven. The scroll that's going to come out of the sky and has your name and my name written on it in the book of life. We're going to be raptured and taken out of here before the 7-year tribulation begins. 728 equals potentially completion on the 2nd month, Heshvan, and the 8th day, which is also 8/8. And what's Back to the Future say? Once you get up to 88 miles per hour, Marty McFly disappears. And Heshvan 8th equals October 29th and October 30th. And then H534 equals the top, the summit, and G534 equals from henceforth. So we're going to be at the top and the summit with the Lord. Eventually, it's coming from henceforth. And then my 3-tile testimony on 8/4/2024, which also equaled 1029 on the civil calendar. The Revelation 12 sign 3 through 5 on October 11th of 2024 is exactly 384 days to 1029/2025. That matches exactly my 3 tiles on 8/4, 3/8/4. And then my air brakes went out on 9/3 in 2024, and that was exactly at 1 o'clock, which equals 9/31. And could this be the 9th of Heshvan on the 31st of October? These are all pointing to something. Everything the Lord's given me is pointing to something. And I'm just trying to decipher the hidden messages, and I'm trying to figure it out. Then on 120, the inauguration day of all things, around 3:30 p.m., my air brakes caught fire, and I pulled over between mile marker 1228 and 1229. And these are the mile markers. I took pictures of them. I take pictures of everything, and I write down every single number that the Lord gives me. And I thought this was significant. So my air brakes caught fire. These are the mile markers, 1229 and 1228. And literally from the fish symbol eclipse to 1029, it's 12 months and 28 days. That's 1228. And then 12 months and 29 days, that's 1229 to 1030. So we shall see. And then also, if you add 2 more days, it's 12 months and 31 days. That's 1231. That is on November 1st, All Saints Day, and that equals New Year's Eve. Fireworks, 1231. So I'm just trying to put everything together. I'm trying to crack the code and decipher what the Lord has given me, trying to decipher the enemy's codes, and I'm trying to crack the case of the rapture and when we're going home. So that's what I do on this channel. And so I look at numbers, I look at timelines, I look at alignments, I look at patterns, and that's essentially what I do on my channel. So these are the dates that I'm looking at, and I hope we go home. We shall see. If we're still here, I'm obviously going to be looking at the 17th day of the second month on the civil calendar, and that'll be next week. But these are super high watch days, and that's why I had to get on here and share the information with you. So thanks for tuning in. I hope we fly soon. God bless you all, and Maranatha.